These videos are about lost landmarks in the landscape, found in old documents, including Anglo-Saxon landscape descriptions. And I'm back in Christian Mulford, just going into Sutton Benger again, and to talk more about these hitherto unsolved Saxon charters. I can now place them reasonably well. I know they're here, and I know where key landmarks are. It's a very warm day again, very beautiful. England at its most beautiful, high summer. The arable are curing. They'll soon be ready for harvest. There'll be combine harvesters everywhere. Just even a couple of hundred years ago, everybody would have left their cottages around here with scythes and hooks, and reaped this corn. I made a breakthrough just as I was editing this. There is a place called Clanville on the border between Draycot and Kington Borough, and the charter of Langley, and notice I don't say Langley Borough here, talks of a Clinanfelde, and Clinanfelde and Clanville are the same thing, mean the same thing. Now, what do I have to evidence that? Well, apart from the Old English and the development of the language, in the tithe map, 2 fields over, there's a place called Clanfield. Also, the English Place Name Society, if you don't think my authority is good enough for this, they think it's also that Clanville means Clinanfelde. And Clinanfelde means a land that's been cleared, an open land that's been cleared. Feld originally meant open land and then became what we think of as a field later on. So it means that we definitely have an anchor for this charter that places it definitely somewhere, and there's very little in the Langley charter that does this, and I don't think anybody else has discovered this. Grundy certainly doesn't, and I don't think anybody else has either. What it means is that Grundy says that this is probably Langley Borough, the Langley charter. It's probably not. It's Kington Borough. There is more to say about this, but it does include part of Langley Borough because it goes down to, it mentions which is in Langley Borough today, and the charter says Peggin Hoola, 3 acres in Peggin Hoola. It also probably mentions the Avon because it's the Yo and the Yar, as we talked about in a previous video. It doesn't throw everything else off. The south boundary of Kington Borough is the Mare Brook. We know this from Moral Cottage, which is, as the English Place Name Society says, Mare Well, and that means the boundary spring, and that is the same as pretty much the same as Mare Brook and Mare Brookes. And there's more, not just the Clananfelde thing. It says the charter of Langley Borough then goes south and goes to a place called Arkford, which means ark in Old English is oak. And in the tithe map, there are 2 fields called Oak Ford. So we have at least identified that it is largely Kington Borough that the Langley Charter talks about, and we could be pretty specific about some of its locations, which I think is new data on the Anglo-Saxon landscape in Wiltshire. Behind me is the boundary of the park of Draycot Cern.
And there's a couple of things about this. Is one of my objectives for today is to date the hedges, as much hedge as I can get to using public footpaths and the drone of the park, because I think there's a link between the medieval parkland and the early medieval roe deer hedge. There might not be, I might just be making it out, but it's gathering more data. The Draycot, incidentally, as a name, is you get loads of Draycots all over the place. And I was looking at Wikipedia, as you do, and you shouldn't. And it said that nobody knows what Dray means, and because it's not used in English, it is a ancient Celtic name, which is utter bollocks. Now, you may, just off the top of your head, recognise what a dray horse is. We used to have a career called being a drayman, and but if you've got some medieval English, you know that dray comes from drag, which means to drag. There are loads of medieval uses for dray. There are some that don't fit into modern English, so that's the main definition of drag is to drag something. There are others. There's a multitude of people is a drag. A band of people, a tumult is a drag. It comes from Old English, yeah, drag. So that's utter nonsense. We should not. We need to go to sources that are peer-reviewed. Now, I'm not peer-reviewed, but you can trust me. No, you can't. I sometimes come up with books as well, so I need you to tell me if I'm coming up with books. So, and then I'll correct it. So, drag, but we still really, the word drag doesn't really apply as in dragging. Some people say that's to do with portage over rivers. It might have, the boundaries might originally have gone as far as the Avon, but I don't think so. So what it means, I can't really tell. The cot is obvious, it's cottage. It's Hawthorn 1. Blackthorn 2. Wild Rose 3. Elder 4. Look for these sticks. They're frequently rotten, but they're quite, you can make flutes out of them. They're hollow down the middle. Ash 5. I've got my camera over my eyes. Can't really see what I am. Hiding in the hollow. I can see a pair of ears come up that don't have horns, don't have antlers, and thus so he's gone to see his mate or sister, whatever. I love animals more than I. Here's another one. He's looking away from me. Oh, it's a she, obviously. There are three of them here. and I want to stalk up close to them. I'm not going to hurt them. I want to get the shot. Don't want to do them any harm. I'm just collecting pictures of them. But, you know, even a middle-aged man like myself can do this sort of thing. I've got one, the stag, the buck. He's the young man. He's hiding with a young doe, and there's another doe or a very young buck further up the side of this field here. Makes it a good spot. They eat the corn, sleep in the corn, come up here to drink, and there's a stream over there as well. He's only 20 feet away from me, and again he can't see me because he's looking for my eyes. None of those 3 deer put out an alarm signal, so the hare had no idea there was any problem. So get yourself a camera. Even if you just got a phone, put the phone over your face and just peek out from underneath it or over the top of it. It confuses them. They can't identify you as a danger. They need to look at you to find out, to assess you. Donna, are you there? It's a rough texture. Is that shell inclusions? Is it prehistoric? That line along there. What a beauty, another beauty. So it's grey down the middle and brown on the outside. Bloody hell, we've got a piece of rim. I suspect Roman again myself, but it's I don't know. I'm not. Are there any inclusions? Now, apart from the fact that I'm in parkland, medieval parkland, I don't have any, or at least early modern parkland anyway. I don't have any archaeological records to tell me what might be here. I'll go back and have another look. I came out here to do Saxon charters and hedge dating. I didn't expect to come across gorgeous pottery like this. I love it. Oh, I love a bit of rim, don't you? God, a bit of rim, nice bit of rim. And I suspect I've got prehistoric. I'm really excited by its roughness. But I'm not definitely not. I'm not even competent. I can spot grey ware and black burnish ware, and that's about my limit. But I'm going to take these and tell the county archaeologists, see whether, you know, because they'll at least have the record and be able to tell me a date. I might be able to add some knowledge around here. But yeah, it's dead exciting. I got distracted by the deer, and then I got distracted by the pottery, and but I found 5 species of woody species in that hedge. It's not early medieval, it is probably medieval. We're on the cusp between exactly how I would consider it, on the cusp between the medieval and the early modern period, you know, Shakespeare. And so that's interesting. That's confirmed my expectations. I think the Rah hedge, that was one side of the park. There's obviously the other side of the park. I think that's the Rah hedge boundary. Another hedgerow, maybe the same hedgerow is mentioned. It says the hare that, and it says that Alfric built, which is interesting. You know, it could be Alfric of colloquy fame. It could be another Alfric. We don't know. But so I've yet to nail down in the Sutton Benja Charter the Raheya. I know it's there, but it's giving you some proof, some real physical proof is nice, and I can't quite do it. I have the Roward farm, though when I come to think of it, Roward could be I've assumed the RO is Rach, but it could be ROW, which is which is a sort of medieval version of rough. So it could be rough earth. So rough earth, it could be that. So, but we have a gate farm right next to this eastern edge of the park. We have and we've got further on, I think it's in Kingston Langley, there's another leap gate, or gate, I can't quite remember, but anyway. There's plenty of roe deer. It's obviously associated, this area, with the management of game, of the roe. But so that's out of the way. If we remember the whole of the Sutton, just to remind you, the whole of the Sutton Benja Charter, the starting point, the anchor, is Morwell Cottage today, which is on the boundary, the parish boundary. I'm making, as the English Place Name Society does, making the link with it being the Merebrock, then the Avon. That's all quite easy. Then Sedge Merd is Seagree. Seagree means sedge wreath, which wreath is a stream. And we've got the Broad Well. We've got the link in with the Langley Charter. It mentions the Bradawella Brook. And then it goes over to Row, the Rahe. And I'm obviously linking a row hedge, a early medieval, that is Anglo-Saxon, game estate, with the medieval game estate of Draycot. I never finished what Draycot means. The Cern part is the family de Cern. That's all very Norman. We're not all that interested. They can be interested, but not interesting, but not always. And the Draycot, we don't. Dray is likely to be dragging, but we don't know what was dragged, and it's not easily linked in with the River Avon. Because we've got Sutton Benja in between. But if it was part of a larger estate under Langley, that could explain it. But it is the cottage of the drag of some sort.